So this is a little refresher on how to make emery rolls, also known as emery barrels or emery cartridges. I like to use 3 coarseness again, 220, 320, 600. We use a slit mandrel for that. They sell different kinds. I like the one that's a little bit thicker, especially at the base here. They sell cheaper ones, they're a little thinner, but they break really easily. So I like to go with a little bit thicker. For this, we're going to do this 600. I cut strips lengthwise on the paper so you have longer. And I also cut a little bit wider than the barrel itself. If you cut too wide, it'll start moving on you and breaking. But you have a good centimeter. You can do a good centimeter extra. So I just prepare them by creasing the paper before cutting. That way they'll be nice and straight. And I like to cut 2 strips and attach the 2 together. That way your barrels are bigger and they last longer. If you're going to do some work inside small jump rings, then you would have to make smaller one, but typically those are for inside of rings. So you can go with a double paper, and the width of your barrel or cartridge is not going to be too big, and then it'll last you longer. So I just connect them with the tape at the back only. Then I give a little bit of a curl to my strip, so that way when you wind it, it doesn't break, it doesn't crease. We'll fold the first section only a little bit to insert into the slit mandrel. Making sure that it's going downwards. If you roll the wrong way, the moment you go into your fordham, you will be using your flex shaft against the direction of the flex shaft, and it will be a problem. So make sure you're rolling downwards. I like to wind it by hand, not on the flex shaft, really slowly, so it's really tight and even. And then I roll it in my hand to have it even tighter. Next, we need to attach this. Now, some people leave them loose. That's fine. I personally can't stand it because it flaps all over your piece and all over your fingers, and it uses the paper much faster. So I find that if you attach your roll, it's much nicer to use. You can use tape, it's my favorite method, but some people use elastic. They'll put a little elastic at the end. Sometimes the elastic pops and the whole thing unravels. So I do prefer tape. Even if I have to redo the tape, maybe when the barrel is halfway used, sometimes I'll have to redo the tape, which takes a minute. So in my opinion, it's worth to have it attached like this. We remove the excess tape so it doesn't interfere with the flex shaft. And there you go. When putting on the flex shaft, make sure you go all the way in. If you purchased the other style that's a little bit thinner, you will have to cut off a little bit of it because otherwise it's too long and it doesn't insert all the way in, and that's how they break. So make sure it inserts all the way in into the flex shaft handle. And these are for inside of rings, inside of, in this case this will be a hoop earring. It is not for flat surfaces. Why? Because it shows. You see it on the surface when a barrel was used. So use an emery stick on the outside only. When removing our paper, whether it's on the stick or on the barrel, you remove it very cleanly, not halfway, not leaving an edge that will mark your metal. You remove the entire surface all the way to the sandpaper. Nice and clean, and then your jewelry will be finished nice and cleanly. And there you have it, the Emery roll.